Edith Cushing, the daughter of wealthy businessman Carter Cushing, is visited by her mother's ghost in 1887 Buffalo, New York, who warns her, "Beware of Crimson Peak." Edith is now a published author when she meets English Baronet Sir Thomas Sharp and his sister, Lucille, in 1901. Mr. Cushing rejects Thomas's proposal to raise funds for his invention, a digging machine to revitalize his family's clay mines. Thomas and Edith fall in love, prompting her father to hire a private investigator who uncovers unsavory information about the Sharp siblings. Mr. Cushing buys their departure from America, forcing Thomas to break Edith's heart by disparaging her in her novel. They reconcile after Thomas returns Edith's manuscript with a letter explaining his actions. Mr. Cushing is brutally murdered, prompting Edith's childhood friend, Dr. Alan McMichael, to suspect him. Thomas marries Edith, who receives a ring from Lucille, and the couple travels to Allerdale Hall, the Sharps' dilapidated Cumberland mansion that is sinking into the red clay mine below. Lucille offers Edith firethorn berry tea, and Thomas persuades her to put her father's fortune toward his machine. He mentions that the estate is known as Crimson Peak because of the warm red clay that seeps through the winter snow. Edith becomes weak and starts coughing up blood. Allerdale is plagued by nightmares and visited by gruesome ghosts. One of the spirits tricks her into opening a closet, where she discovers wax phonograph cylinders, and chases her into the cellars, where she finds a locked trunk engraved with the name Enola. Edith is taken to the post office by Thomas, where she receives a letter addressed to E. Sharp. They finally make love while snowed in for the night, which irritates Lucille. Edith steals a key with the inscription Enola from Lucille and opens the trunk to find a gramophone and secret documents. The wax cylinders and documents reveal that Thomas previously married 3 other wealthy women, including the letter's intended recipient, Enola Chiati, and that Lucille has been poisoning Edith with tea as part of the siblings' marriage and murder scheme to fund Thomas's inventions. Edith confronts her husband and sister-in-law, catching them in an incestuous embrace, before Lucille pushes her off a balcony. Alan has discovered what Mr. Cushing discovered about the Sharps, including Thomas's multiple marriages and Lucille's time in a mental institution. He travels to Allerdale Hall to save Edith, arriving just as she is about to be pushed. Alan prepares to leave with Edith while tending to her injuries, but Lucille stabs him and demands that Thomas finish the job. Thomas, on the other hand, fakes Alan's death with a non-fatal wound and hides him in the cellar. Lucille coerces Edith into signing a deed transferring ownership of her estate to the Sharps, and confesses to murdering Thomas's previous wives and bearing a child with Thomas that died soon after. These are the ghosts who have appeared to Edith. Lucille admits to killing Edith's father and her own mother after discovering Lucille and Thomas's sexual relationship. Edith stabs Lucille with her pen and flees, but is met by Thomas, who has fallen deeply in love with her. He burns the deed and begs his sister to join him and Edith in a new life, but Lucille stabs him to death. She chases Edith down with the cleaver she used to murder her mother, but is stopped by Thomas's ghost, allowing Edith to kill her with a shovel. Before Thomas disappears, Edith silently bids him farewell. The villagers save Edith and Alan, and Lucille becomes the ghost of Allerdale Hall, playing her piano forever. The end credits imply that Edith has written a novel called Crimson Peak based on her experiences.